Good morning. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living. This wonderful, beautiful Sunday morning in Southern California. The music this morning is going to be by Last Call, Ricky Dale, Michael Whitney, and yours truly. We've got songs about love, songs about connections, songs about being kind, and songs about spirit. And a wonderful talk by Dr. Heather. We're just glad you're all with us. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? What's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, they're only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it, but I know they're wrong, you wait and see. And someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Be heard and the answer wished on a morning star. Somebody thought of that and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? What do you think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be what I'm the same. I've heard it many times to ignore it. Something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La 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 la. Sing with me on the line. The dreamers and me. Ladies and gentlemen, last call. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from sea to shore, and you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you know
back in just a bit with more music. Please welcome Reverend Dr. Heather Clark.
Thank you, Diane. I thought there was one more song that was waiting for the next one. Good morning. We begin our service by lighting the flames of faith, a call to service. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as Reverend Judy Chapman lights the last candle, let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. Reverend Judy is going to establish the consciousness by praying us in and then leading us in the Declaration of Principles.
Good morning, everyone. So let us join together in the sweet serenity of prayer, knowing that there truly is only one truth in the universe. And that truth is there is only one divine essence. There is only one powerful energy, one infinite intelligence, one unconditional love, one heart, one life, one joy, one God. And all these qualities of God, the happiness, the compassion, the understanding, the joy, all these wonderful qualities of God live and move and are expressed through each one of us. We are the light through which this energy flows. We are the joy. We are the understanding. For we are the beloved, the essence of spirit. And I know that each one is the sacred activity of this beloved energy. And so this morning I affirm and I decree that all is well, that we are safe, we are loved, and we are awake. We are awake and aware that this life, this energy, this essence lives within us. It is us, and we express it with our every thought, our every action, our every word. So we express love. We express connection. We express love, love, love. I know that this morning we are listening to Dr. Heather's message with our spiritual ears, gleaning the wisdom of her talk this morning. We are listening to the beautiful music. I was dancing in the back. It's just wonderful. It's lifts us up, raises that vibration of life, and we live our life out loud. So knowing that we are awake, we are alive, and we are here, each one of us, on purpose. That purpose is to be love. So knowing I speak the truth, and that truth sets us free. Free from the concerns and the worries and the chaos. We are here now in this hour of power. And so I place my words into that medium, that subconscious mind, that universal essence, which always creates exactly what we believe. Believing is seeing. And so my heart is full of gratitude, full of joy, full of love, full of thanksgiving for this time together, for this teaching, for this beautiful center, and for this connection that we have. And so I release, I let go, I anchor this prayer in spirit, in God, in confidence, as we say together, and so it is. And now our declaration of principle. I believe in God, the one creative intelligence, operating through the universe and operating throughout my entire being, now and always. I believe this perfect spirit operates upon a law of mind and creates my experience exactly according to my belief. I believe this perfect creative intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to produce health, abundance, and love in mind, body, and total life experience. So I use it now, and I rejoice in it, and so it is. And this morning's affirmation: I am the activity of inclusion. I embrace the multiplicity of creation as a community expressing divinely on earth. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Judy. And Les Call is going to sing and play this wonderful song, Surely the Presence, and then we'll go into meditation, short meditation started by that song.
Surely the presence of our God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of our God is in this place. Surely the presence of our God is all around. I can feel the love and harmony right now. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I feel peacefulness abound. Surely angel wings, I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of our God is in this place. Surely the presence of our God is in this place.
So beautiful, so true, that the presence of God is right where we are, right in this place. We are in our center. And right where you are, for you too are in a place where God is. And just for a moment, touch your heart and recognize that the place that God is in you. In you, not just around you, but in you. And this morning's meditation is to purify that that temple that is you, so that the only thing that is there is the power, the beauty, the love of God. Sometimes that means we need to let go of judgments, of blame, of criticism, of anything that is unlike the divine. So first and foremost, begin ask yourself, what do I need to forgive myself for? Where have I judged? Where have I criticized myself? Where have I been hard and uncompromising? And then allow that presence that God is as love. Lift all those shadows out. See them dissolving into the light, which is the truth of each one of us. The truth of you is pure light, pure love, pure joy. Take just a short time now and continue, and then I'll continue with the meditation, but continue embracing all parts of you. Let it go. When it comes up, it's come up to be released. And now in the greater world, where have you blamed or judged another? Where have you cast someone else out of your heart because they weren't to your liking? Recognizing that that one presence that is who you really are can't do that, has never done it, will never do it. So forgive yourself for judging, and let that forgiveness be full and complete. Don't withhold a particle of it. And lastly, let divine mind show you where you have been careless with word or deed, where you have have put someone out of your heart and judged them. And once more, bring this moment to forgive yourself and to forgive the other. And take the rest of the time in silence to continue that work of knowing the self and doing the inner house cleaning required. All is good, all is God. Bring that consciousness with you, light, free, ready for the rest of the service. And now, once more, last call.
Love lifted me. I say every Sunday, raucous
raucous applause. Wonderful, wonderful. So I know that all of you are hooting and hollering and on the chat. There's lots of clapping and laughter and joy. My talk title is Better Together, and it really is about community. Even though it was the title given to me by CSL, I didn't like what they had to say. There's so much right here, so much gold. And I would like to start by reading something that sometimes you have a book that just is a great go-to book, no matter what the topic is. This one is called Spiritual Literacy, Reading the Sacred in Everyday Life by Frederick and Marianne Broussat. And the Broussats have a website. It's not called Spiritual Living. I think it's called Spirituality in Practice. And they just have continued to develop. It has all sorts of spiritual practices and, of course, a whole section on community. So I grabbed it, but then I looked inside. The inscription was to me from my administrator in Bonita in 1998. That would have been the year before I came here. And she says, "To my teacher and best friend, who has taught me to see God everywhere, and who always, with love, reminds me of my own magnificence. I love you and wish you much love and happiness on your day. Happy birthday, happy love day, happy joy day." Her name's Judy, signed Judy. A few years later, a few years after I got here, Judy Biter had cancer of the liver and passed away. And so, but often she comes to me, and because she was, and still is, because we know there is no death, there's just a change of bodies, that she's the most loving woman I had ever met. Very kind. She and her husband had 6 dogs who all slept with them. I said, "How do you do that?" "Well, they're all on they were all on their harnesses, all harnessed. I don't know. It sounds like a recipe for chaos to me, but it's what they did. They loved it. Great animal lovers, great kindness. And so every once in a while, I feel so grateful for all the people that have been in my life and that are still in my life, and how many others I have seen the magnificence in, everyone in this room, and every one of you. I see your magnificence, and I know who you are. The thing about Better Together, about community, is that when we steadfastly see the God presence in each other, there isn't anything we can't do. Things will change. There'll be changes of circumstance, there'll be changes of staff, there'll be changes. And when we are all in it together, what we know is that we can handle anything. A dying man called all of his children together, and he had twigs, just thin pieces, sticks, and he told them each just to break the stick. And of course, it wasn't hard at all. And then he had the children all place their sticks together and tied them with an elastic or something. He said, "Now try to break the group of sticks." And of course, it couldn't be broken. There was strength because they were together. There was strength because they were together. Now, it's kind of an interesting topic to be talking about as we're online. We are not meeting in person. And I thought that's exactly why it's such a good topic. Because we are strong together, whether we can see one another or not. We're strong together with those like Judy and others who have passed and still are part of our community, still are part of the community of Centers for Spiritual Living, and still part of this community. People who have grown up and taken another course, gone into their own ministries. They're all still part of us, and we are better together. We're better together. We are more resilient, and we're more able to see the differences, to see the great strength, the good that comes from allowing everybody, men and women, gay and straight, Republican and Democrat, every single one, important to the whole. Take out a portion and you don't have the whole. We're better together, and we're better when we're willing to, not to pretend we're all the same, but we're recognizing, no, we have so many differences. There's so many things that, in ways in which we're different. Whatever your unique qualities are, those qualities are the ones that are being asked to come forward. And sometimes, when I did the meditation, one of the things that comes to me always, when there's someone in my world that just drives me nuts, I really have to look at myself. Because, this is the way the principle works. That when there's something about yourself that you're not willing to look at, not willing to say, well, maybe I could be that way too, it has to come out in other people so that we have an opportunity. There's something out there that's saying, okay, I'll step back a moment, and instead of judging and making myself the arbiter of the world, how about I just notice that this is something that annoys me, and find out what in myself I'm trying to repress, that I'm not willing to embrace. Our whole spiritual journey is about learning to really love yourself, every aspect of yourself. I used to say warts and all, and one of our ministers really didn't like that. She wanted me to say warts and wonders, but anyway, whatever, the things that we judge about ourselves, we learn to accept. Not because we can't change them, of course, we can change almost anything. And in another, given a new body, then the answer is anything. Because of course, there's eternal life. There's not just some life this time. There's eternal life, forever and ever, expanding, Ernest Holmes says. Sometimes, I've got a couple of really great stories for you. This first one comes from Rachel Naomi Remen, who's from her book, My Grandfather's Blessings. And Rachel, her work really became that of a therapist. People would come and talk with her, and she would help them see things straight, see them clearly. And one person that came to her was a very successful, very skilled surgeon. He was an oncology surgeon, and he was really good at his job. His surgeries were always successful, but he had no joy in his life. He didn't appreciate himself. He didn't appreciate his gifts. And in fact, he was thinking of suicide. So she gave him an assignment, and I love this assignment. She said, every day, ask yourself these 3 questions. What surprised me today? Question number 1. Number 2, what inspired me today? Question number 3. Question number 2. Question number 3, surprised, inspired. Well, it's another inspired. What moved me? What brought tears? What moved me today? And she said for the first couple of weeks, nothing happened. He didn't mention it. They were seeing each other weekly. And then the emails came, nothing, nothing, and nothing. Nothing, nothing, and nothing. Nothing, nothing, and nothing. And she was just patient. And then he came to therapy one day with this notebook. And he obviously wanted to share some things with her. He said, at first, I was really resistant. And then later on, I noticed that at the time something was happening, I didn't recognize that it was moving me or that it surprised me. But later in the evening, when I reflected back over my day, I go, oh yes, that was really moving, or that was really surprising, or that was really inspiring. He said, and then it occurred to me that, that I could actually ask people about themselves rather than just their cancer. And so my work has changed. He said, people are even bringing me gifts. No one's ever brought me a gift before. And look at this. He pulled out a stethoscope that had his name engraved on it, that a woman had given him. And Rachel said, and doctor, what do you do with the stethoscope? Oh yes, listen to my heart, to listen to others' hearts. His whole life changed for the better because he was willing to see that things were happening around him, to him, through him, that were good, that were inspiring, that were moving, that were, that for me, it's the presence of God. The beautiful song that last call sang for the meditation, it is the presence of God. And yes, it's love. And it's the only motive power in the universe. It's the only thing that's ever happening. Either there's a call to love or there's a resistance to love's call. As I was thinking about it, what came to me was, what do I wish for those people that I love? And the Eagle song, I Wish You Peace, came to mind. And not that it just although the whole song is beautiful, the line that made me emotional, that touched me, is, I wish you comfort in the lonely time, arms to hold you when you ache inside. I wish you comfort in the lonely time, arms to hold you when you ache inside. I wish that for all of us, especially those of us who are sheltering in place at home. And what we miss most about being together is the hugs, is the connection with other people. So, first, foremost, wrap your arms around yourself, feel that love. In olden days, they said, wonderful, wonderful me. You could say that, wonderful, wonderful me, and feel the love that you are giving yourself. And then give it out to the whole world. You know, someone is longing for arms to hold them. And even the acknowledgement that you thought of them will make a huge difference. Will make a huge difference. Some of the people here in this room, most of you know, when I was on vacation, I did a lot of self-reflection and a lot of soul searching. And I made a big decision. And it's a good decision. I made the decision that I am ready to retire. So I am going to, say that again for those who haven't heard it already, I am going to retire next June. So June of 21. In June of 21, it'll be 22 years that I will have been here. So that's kind of significant since Judy's note was 22 years ago. And I thought, oh, there's the connection. There are all sorts of connections all the time if we but open our eyes and look. And so what the board is doing is we're opening up to a selection committee so that we get everybody's input. And we can't have the whole congregation on the committee, but we can have, 4 or 5 people, a couple of people from the board, 4 or 5 people that represent the rest of the community. And then the people that, if there are people in our congregation and our ministry that want this job, want to be the next senior minister, then they will put their name forward as well. Then what happens next is really depends on that committee. They have several options, but they can't do anything without all of you, without you, the one watching at home. You're important because a minister is hired by the congregation. Is not hired by a small committee or the board or one person, is hired by the congregation. So please let us know if you're interested in serving in that way. Please let us know if you're interested in being on that committee. And if you can't serve, make sure your voice is heard anyway, because there'll be plenty of times where you can join a Zoom call and let us know. Here's what I'm thinking. What I know is this center has always been blessed by consciousness, the lead consciousness that out of which everything comes out. The principle is always foremost in the lead consciousness. And even when the lead consciousness is going to do the next thing for her, which is retire, put my feet up, probably hang out with my sisters and brothers. My sister Kathy has invited me to come and live with her, which is really good, except no animals are allowed in her condo, and I have 2 cats. So I have 10 months, I believe. So all of those things can be made right, seen right, and made right. Every voice is important. I did tell the ministers and practitioners and the leaders, so some of you already know, and I have had several really lovely, tender calls about how much people support and love. So I have other things to tell you, but hold on to that one. Know that only good can happen. Only good can happen. Only the right person can be standing on this platform. It can never be any other way. And it's always for our highest good. And we're going to be doing some visioning about it. We're doing lots of prayer about it already. And all will turn out perfectly well. But the other thing I want to tell you is we started doing made some decisions about spending money because, as all of you know, we as a board decided that we would pay all salaries for as long as we could. And we've come to the place where maybe we'll make some changes, and actually have already started making those changes. So Diane King Van has taken an adjustment to her salary for her as choir director, because we can't really have a choir right now. So, and Lisa McClure, who is our youth coordinator, has been released until we start meeting in person again. So other things are happening. But here's the thing, here's something you can do. We have 7 suites that are vacant, 7. And several tenants that are very loyal, but they are not able to pay all of their rent, so they haven't been paying full rent for a while. What you can do, if you know anyone that would like a safe, wonderful place to do their work, have them call the center, or actually have them call the suites, but either way, it both rings in the same place. So, and just come and look. See if it would work for you. I know people have had to downsize their businesses, and maybe they're looking for a small place. And maybe one of our suites would be exactly right for them. It's a possibility. Please, please add your consciousness, your prayers. At this current moment, one of our administrators for 20 years is not working with us. She thinks I fired her. I think she quit. But nevertheless, there's an impasse, and for absolutely, she is always in my heart, just as Judy Biter was, always. She's never out of my heart. So the issue was the mandate to wear masks, and I'm very firm about it for our tenants especially. You can talk to me about it if you want to. I have it covered so that we have temporary help. Maybe someone that's watching would like to try out for that job. It's a real people person job, and where you really need to be able to get along with all kinds of people. And both our business managers, Diane being one, Claudia being the other, have done a wonderful job at that. So, what is better together for us? What is it? I think it starts by knowing who you are. I think it starts by remembering that no matter what the C word is that we're avoiding, you know, for years it was cancer and now it's COVID, but whatever that C word is that we're, you know, careful about, that surely this mighty moving power that God is moving intelligently in the direction of the highest and good, best good for all of us, all of this community, all of the United States, all of the planet. I do believe it. I was listening to Michael Beckwith, and he was talking about a child who, I guess they're doing online classes or something, and this child said, at the end of every class, she would always put her hand up for prayer. And she said, I really want you to pray for my parents because they don't believe in the shift that's happening. So there is a shift happening. And What a beautiful request from this wonderful child. Let's believe that we're part of a shift, a global shift. I'm not talking about our election, a global shift, a shift in consciousness of well-being, of love, of peace, of all good. So I wish you peace when times are hard, a light to guide you in the dark. And when storms are high and your dreams are low, I wish you peace to let love grow. And so it is. And so we're going to pray. In this holy moment of right now, I recognize and know that there is only one life, that this life that is God's life is everywhere present, is that life force that is our center, is the life force that is all of the people in our centers, all of our staff, all of our congregation. It is all in, through, and as each one of us. And I know that this power, is right where I am. It is the thing that is speaking these words. It is the thing that is connecting to all life. And so I first of all know a community that is thriving, that is growing, that is so filled with the Spirit that it knows itself as whole, complete, and perfect. I know for our community what I know for myself: prosperity and ease and right action for my whole family and for everyone's whole family. I know in this holy moment, greater well-being, greater connection, greater love, greater wisdom, greater willingness to ask questions, first of all of the self, and then of each other. I know that each one of us values and sees our own gifts in a greater way than ever before right now. I know that each one of us knows and chooses health, happiness, and wholeness. I call it good, only good and very good. And with my heart filled with gratitude, I release this word to the action of law. It is complete. And please help me release it by saying with me, and so it is. And now last call is going to present another song, and I'm going to make my way back to my chair. I haven't worn these shoes for a long time, and I'm kind of wobbling in them. I'm really wobbling in them, so pardon me while I waddle back.
Love is real, real is love. Love is feeling, feeling love. Love is wanting to be loved. Love is touch. Touch is love. Love is reaching, reaching love. Love is asking to be love. Love is you and me. Love is no way we can be. Love is free. Free is love. Love is living. Living love. Love is meaning to be loved. Love is you and me. Love is knowing we can be. Love is free. Free is love. Love is living. Living love. Love is needing to be loved. Love is needing to be loved.
Wow, that was amazing. This is a reminder to give, to circulate, that that our center is supported entirely by the gifts that you give. So thank you in advance. You can text to give if you want to, or if you can send a check. Attention Reverend Karen Allen, who is our bookkeeper, or you can go to our website, to our PayPal. The text giving number is 844-948-3044. And then you text the word give, and it's going to ask you how much, and you put in something and just add another zero. We're so grateful, so grateful. So let's read say our prosperity affirmation together. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply, and it symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply. After service, you can join the Zoom call to say good morning, coffee and conversations, or you can get a prayer at that same number. Or at 12 o'clock, you can go to Conscious Connections and talk about the ideas in the message. Mary Brogson will be leading that. And so grateful that you were here with us this morning. We're going to close with a peace song. I'm going to take my shoes. And we're going to go.
With God as creator.
with me, with you. It's a beautiful beginning, and this is the community to do it in, and so it is.
Sing along, dance along.
Don't be going day by day. People in person do so happy. So I said, oh, you got to let me play. What people need is a way to make them smile. It's hard to do, you know how. You got to be steady. Like a lazy flowing river, surrounding castles in the sky, and the crowd is growing.